Welcome to Redacted, a show about gaming. I'm Sean. This week we have EJ.
Hi.
Lucci.
Hi.
Nader.
Hi.
And Tim.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Way to bring the enthusiasm.
Yeah. We're going to start with the game releases for what's this coming week? That's March
the 3rd.
March 3rd.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the weeks off of the game release
That's
weeks,
fine.
which is the Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
So
This doesn't see the light of day until at least Tuesday sometimes. So that's fine.
so we have
Quality.
we have White Knight on PS4, RE Revelations 2 Episode 2 on PS4, PS3, Xbone 360, and PC.
No, just stop, Capcom.
Helldivers for the PS4, PS3, and Vita. Scream Ride for the Xbone and 360. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars for the Wii U and 3DS. Best of Casual Games for the 3DS. Get the best stuff, 3DS. Hollywood Fame Hidden Objectives Adventure for the 3DS. And Zombie Incident for the 3DS. And now for PC. Here we go.
Buckle up.
Char Blue Shield Alliance. How would you pronounce SCHAR?
Yeah,
Char.
no, that's Char.
That's Char. That's Char.
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 Yeah.
I sharded a little.
Get out.
Shiftlings. Did I mention this is for PC?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We can tell.
Talomir.
It's
White
like
Knight.
a crossword puzzle at this point.
Yeah.
White Knight. His Heroes in the Sky. I don't know if his is supposed to be an acronym or it's going to be his and then Heroes in the Sky.
It's an acronym.
Okay. Tormentum Dark Sorrow. Pre-Civilization Marble Age. Dig or Die. Franken John. Standpoint. Fly in the House. Vietnam 65. Zombie Army Trilogy. Shelter 2. And Grapple.
Is Frank or John some sort of like
No, Frank and
prostitute
John.
simulator?
Frank and John.
Frank and John. Like Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Frank and John.
Yeah. Right. So prostitution simulator.
Oh, God.
God damn
Undead
it.
prostitution simulator.
Reanimated.
Reanimated prostitution
Reanimated.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's PC.
They win.
Go PC. You get all the cool stuff.
I personally like
PC
how,
Master Race wins.
how 3DS is coming out with a game best of casual games. Like they're,
God.
they're not even trying to hide the fact that
You can get best of casual games if you own a smartphone.
yes, seriously,
It's
right?
basically best of Nintendo's entire library. But I don't think you can play Wii Fit on fucking 3DS.
Does it have a gyro in it? You might be able
if
to.
it has
Actually, it might
a
have one.
gyro, then you're
Hey,
It
good.
does have a gyro.
That's going to be their big announcement for E3 is a belt clip accessory for the new 3DS.
Does it have a USB port? You can plug a nunchuck
No.
into it. Done.
I'd settle for customer support.
If it had a USB port, you could charge the thing.
Good luck.
Jesus Christ.
I'd ask for 720.
I'm also really sad that Capcom just won't. They have just destroyed Resident Evil and won't let it die.
That's what happens when you have like 18 development teams making a single game.
It's
Oh,
true.
You want you want to talk about Resident Evil?
I don't really.
Capcom took out co-op for Resident Evil. So there was a modder that put it back in.
Yeah.
Way to do your job so poorly. Random people are doing your job for you.
Seriously. God damn.
You have to wonder sometimes when games like that would like get released with like an obvious mode missing. The developers are just like they'll mod it
That's
back
the
in.
whole. That's the whole. Well,
The
while
community
that's
will
the
fix
whole
it for
point
us.
of the modding. That's the whole point of the modding community. The developer. Why are we paying you to basically just put
Yeah.
out more work for us?
Because we'll do it better.
They should just start releasing source codes, and that's it. And then just release the source codes and all the source material, and we'll just make our own shit.
Just do what Valve did, and then just never release a game ever again until.
So
Yeah, right.
So go to Capcom's page on GitHub.
You find them on LinkedIn.
Okay. Oh well. God damn it.
There's a lot of gaming news this week.
There's a whole bunch.
There's
of
a
stuff.
shit ton of gaming
And
news.
some
let's-
from last week.
Let's hit
since
something that we
last week
didn't
was
get a chance to hit
solo cast.
last week because we were out of town at an event. The Order 1886.
I've
Pass.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm more like wait until a price drop.
Do I want?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
I want a more boring Metal Gear Solid?
I'll pick it up when it's a $20 like best of greatest
Yeah.
hits or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I have heard everything that I have heard about the game. Some of it's favorable. Everything else is just I've either played it before, I've seen it before, or it's not worth my time.
It is gorgeous though.
But you know what? That's
So
not.
it's not
I
enough.
haven't even heard that. I've heard it's very like even the visuals are very bland because it's all just like brown and gray.
And,
Yeah,
and you know what? Like, gorgeous can't even be a selling point
No,
anymore.
it's not.
Because
Well,
almost
it's not.
any game on a next-gen system is gorgeous.
Yeah, no,
Destiny
they-
is
they-
gorgeous.
they spent a lot of
Transistor was
time-
gorgeous.
They spent a lot of time on textures. They spent a lot of time on character design just to hide everything in like fog and darkness and run it at 30 frames per second. That was a big debate when it was originally coming out.
I'm sorry. It's running at 30 frames a second.
Yeah, they
I
were,
prefer 30 frames.
they were
a second.
because they could have gone to
60
60 and
bugs
they
me.
said, you know what, we're just going to keep it 30.
That's 30 frames more than Assassin's Creed.
Which one?
Probably all of them, really.
No, the first,
The new one.
the first Assassin's Creed ran better than Unity.
That's true. It's so true.
No, wait. The first Assassin's Creed ran.
And ran well.
Yeah.
No, but going back to 1886, I don't mind if it was like a 7-hour game as long as you give me an experience.
And that's the
I'm not. That's
That-
not what I'm
and-
hearing.
And
No.
that's the last thing that you get with you get a very bland, mediocre, rehashed elements pulled from like multiple other games, but they just kind of do it poorly.
So what you're telling me is, it sounds like from what you're saying, it's more like Darksiders. Because Darksiders was basically a rehashing of like God of War,
This is
Zelda.
mainly The Legend of Zelda.
And God of War.
No,
And
there was a lot. There was a fair amount of QuickTime events, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I remember getting Darksiders and not being overly impressed with the graphics.
It wasn't a very pretty game.
It seemed like they could have done much more with it at
Oh
the
yeah,
time
the
that
graphics
game
on
came out.
Darksiders like 5
Yeah.
years behind.
It was like I played it and I enjoyed it, but I only enjoyed it because I'm a fan of those games.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't what I was promised, and it certainly wasn't anything that I've never seen before.
That sort of nostalgia will only, or not even nostalgia. That sort of, if you like this game, try this game because it
That only
plays the
goes so
same,
far.
Then no, that will only get you so much entertainment. And
Yeah.
frankly, there are a lot of games that I can think of that if I liked that game, there are other better games I can play than sometimes whatever you're trying to, put. I mean, like 1886 was exactly what happened with the game. I was so super excited for that game, and I'm glad I didn't pre-order it. That sort of thing and Unity and all that stuff is the exact same reason why I don't pre-order games anymore.
I'm so glad
The order is currently sitting at a 65 on Metacritic and a 6.8 on user score.
And for a AAA title within the first 2 weeks of its release?
Yes, 1 week.
That's
No,
one
it's
week-
2 weeks of this. Last week, no, it was a week.
Okay, yeah. So first 2 weeks of its release, that's pretty bad numbers
It's not a good.
for a AAA title.
I'm glad that it leaked that they leaked that full play.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, I was fully prepared to go buy it.
it's
Day of.
It's always a sign, a telling sign when there's a review embargo up for any game until the day of release. Because usually, if it's a good game, you'll see a review for it like 4 or 5 days before.
I don't think that's really that uncommon. It may not always be up till day of, but so you'll
But
get.
there's
you'll,
usually
you'll,
like
you'll-
review embargoes
like-
until like the week before.
Yeah, the week
Yeah.
before, like because a lot of
Or
like
sometimes a
a
couple
lot
of
of the AAA
days.
titles will come out in the last couple of years that have been really good, like GTA 5. Shut up,
You made funnies.
Sonic Boom.
hipster.
But,
But like,
it's bad.
you're the only one that thinks that.
I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Oh, you're the only. You're
Yoichi, back me up.
You kinda,
All right, the one thing that Tim and I agree with, I'm not
Yeah,
a fan
it's-
of GTA 5.
It's not.
I don't like
well,
it. It's not
and
good.
you know what? That's fine. You both can be wrong.
Exactly.
Like you usually are.
Exactly.
About everything.
It's where was I going with that?
Being wrong.
No, with YouTube.
No,
being wrong.
but it's when games like the AAA titles that have gotten overwhelmingly good reviews, like GTA 5 or Halo 4, or I don't
or
even
any
know what
other
else.
game that Tim
Last of
hates.
Us
Yeah.
or The Last of Us. Games like that usually get or the review for that comes out a solid week, 2 weeks beforehand, because the developers
Because-
are just like,
because
All right.
it's, in a lot of
Packaging
cases,
says
because
nine
the
out
game
of
They-
ten.
stands on
It's
its own.
when the developers stand behind their product like that, and they don't have a review embargo up. That's generally a decent sign. But when publishers and developers put an embargo up until like the day of release,
Yeah.
every now and again it works out. But like most of the time, it's like the Order or Assassin's Creed Unity.
Well,
And that's-
one of my favorite things to do is like go back through Game Informer issues and
Oh, I have a stack.
and
Read the hype machine.
and read the hype
Yeah.
machine and like go back like just a couple months even,
Can-
and you see
to
like
be fair, I'm going to be fair to Assassin's Creed. To be conceptually, if they pulled it off, it would have been
Oh, it
awesome.
would've been awesome.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed is mostly just technical issues, and again,
it's all technical issues.
But I can't
And that
even
and, like,
count how
3
many
different
times
paywalls.
like I got to imagine a media outlet like Game Informer.
Ubisoft.
They get advanced copies of games. They
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
see a lot of what the game's going to be.
Yeah.
And they'll write these, crazy fucking hype, just
Because it's Game Informer.
absolute nuts
GameStop.
write-ups of these games, and then they come out and they flop hard.
well,
yeah.
here's the thing. Keep in mind, Game Informer, if I remember correctly, is owned solely by GameStop.
GameStop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Which
GameStop
means,
magazine.
which means their magazine is directly influencing sales.
Oh yeah.
because it's GameStop player, a GameStop consumer, like their
Yeah.
customers coming in and paying them money directly for a magazine that they write that they're sending out per
Well,
month.
they're not paying
Yeah.
for the magazine. Let's be honest. They're
Well,
the
paying for-
magazine's free with the
the pro subscription.
Yeah.
Or you can pay $15 a year.
It's really sad that like you
Although
see
Game
that
Informer-
that kind of gaming shill
Yeah.
just go on, and it sucks because I think it hurts a lot of AAA titles.
Well, I'm not even saying that I enjoy that magazine. I straight out I do.
On
Yeah.
the
But
on
you're
the toilet,
absolute-
I
but
really
I-
enjoy Game Informer.
No, it's straight out. That's exactly
It's
where I
exactly-
keep all of those
I've seen.
issues.
And with a lot of the write-in review, write-in fan stuff to Game Informer,
not bad.
90% of it's like, oh, hey, I read this on the toilet.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's,
Like Game
it's-
Informer, like the articles aren't bad.
No.
Some of them are okay. Others are just straight up hype
Hype,
machines.
yeah.
But I mean, you can tell they're taking money. Like you can
Oh,
tell they're
shit.
taking money for the reviews and some of the
Well, like I
some
said,
of the previews
even,
that they do.
even further than that.
Who needs integrity?
when they give like
Exactly.
pretty much every AAA title a 10, you're fucking out of your mind.
Well, yeah. When a bad review is 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like when like non AAA titles
I'm gonna
they'll
go
get
look at
like
Game Informer
a
right now.
4 or a 5, and then I'll get them because they interest me, and they're fucking amazing. Like they're great games. It's really frustrating to see that happen, and I feel like Kotaku does it sometimes, but I mean I don't know.
I don't think they do. They shit on the Order.
I have such a love-hate relationship with Kotaku, but I like to believe them. I believe in them a lot more than I believe in Game Informer. I'll tell you that much.
Game Informer gave the Order 7.75.
Right, which for them, the thing is, they're
Which
one
for them
to-
is like kind of a decent score.
no,
No, it's
their
not.
1 to 10 scale really starts at 7 and rolls to 10,
Yeah.
especially for AAA.
Anything
and they don't give a
especially
lot of 10s out.
No,
They'll do a lot of 9.5s.
A lot of
they've given a
9.5s,
lot
a
of
lot of
10s
nines.
out. Mass Effect 3 got a 10.
rightfully so.
No.
No, you don't
No,
think? Oh, that's
because
right.
there
You
were
said
flaws.
this. You said this before.
I've had this issue. It's like there's no such thing as a perfect 10 game because every game has a flaw.
I think in a lot of cases that is entirely objective.
It is entirely. It's
One,
completely
and I've mentioned this
Subjective.
before.
Subjective.
Yes,
subjective.
yes.
I have said this before on this show. One of my absolute favorite games is The Saboteur. It's glitchy. It's got problems, but I would personally.
It's very pretty. The
Yeah.
art direction
Like,
mechanics.
it was
now are great.
beautifully directed. It's a really good story. I would give that on my personal scale a 9 to 5. I don't know if I'd give it a 10 because you're right. I still don't see that one as perfect, but that's a hell of a lot higher than most people would probably get.
Skyward Sword got a 10,
Skyward Sword is really, really goddamn.
but is
good,
it
though.
perfect?
No, that's straight out nostalgia. That's nostalgia.
No, you can't say that.
there's-
about Legend
there's-
of
there's
Zelda
been-
anymore.
there's been
if
other
it was the
ones.
remake of Ocarina, sure, you can give it nostalgia.
It has the word Zelda on it.
It doesn't matter.
I think
I disagree.
It's like saying
Wings
about Mario. No one gives Mario a 10.
I think Wings of
Even,
Liberty
like,
got a
Galaxy.
10.
Game
Wings of
Informer
what?
would.
Wings of Liberty, StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. I
think
think
it
that
did
got a
too.
10. The story mode, perfect, absolute perfection. But that's not the only part of StarCraft. It's also part of the multiplayer takes a role in.
Oh yeah.
StarCraft.
I would say the
Oh, yeah.
storyline in StarCraft is actually is not even the main focus of the game. Because I would say the people that play StarCraft, they play it for the multiplayer,
Yeah,
not
they play
for
it
the
for
story.
the multiplayer. But the single player was a solid 25 hours of pure perfection.
Who's that? Who reviewed that again?
Game Informer.
Oh.
I think StarCraft Wings of Liberty got a 10. Heart of the Swarm got an 8.5 from
Last
them,
of Us
I
got a
believe.
10.
Did Last of Us get?
I'd call The Last of Us perfect. I absolutely
I
would.
had a problem with the button layout.
Oh, jerk yourself off. You can change that in the goddamn options.
You're so nitpicky.
But that's the thing. It's like there's no game that's a perfect 10 because I had to reset my thinking from every other game, pretty much every other game that I've played, to a brand new button layout.
That's not the game's fault. That's your fault.
No, it's it's
not the game's fault.
It's the game's fault.
God damn
All right, hold on.
Switching between like two very similar games, I had to reorient myself
Because
to
they're
the
two
new button layout.
different games. They're
Mirror's-
going to have a different control scheme.
Mirror's Edge.
In
7.
That gets a 9.5.
Yeah?
For me. Yeah.
What, for the because of the length?
No, not because of the length. It's
Because of the girth.
God.
because it's
You yell
very
at us.
Spartan.
It's very what?
It's very Spartan.
What do you mean Spartan?
It's a great
It's
mechanic.
stripped down.
The game is a
yeah.
great is one single great mechanic with no story supporting it.
No, it's
not
it's
a
a
game.
No,
fantastic
I think it's
story.
got a great story.
It's a
got great
parkour
story.
simulator.
It's a
Because
got a
of
great
Master
story.
Chief.
Shut up.
It's got a great story, but it's like the graphics are very Spartan. The
That's art
gameplay
design,
the
though.
gameplay besides the parkour is kind of Spartan.
What you're saying is the game itself,
Yeah.
but while very good, lacked a level of polish you would have wanted to see.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is what I'm hoping for Mirror's Edge 2. It's lacking polish.
Is DICE handling Mirror's Edge
Yes.
too?
Yes.
They better be. If they're
They
not
are.
handling it, then it's not Mirror's
Oh,
Edge 2.
why did I think it was Deep Silver for a second?
I don't know.
Because Deep Silver made Dead Island and Dying Light is Dead Island if it was good mixed with Mirror's Edge.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's DICE using
Logic.
DICE using the Frostbite 3 engine.
That was Frostbite 4.
Or is it Frostbite 4?
Yeah.
What's the new
I think it's 4.
Frostbite
I could
4?
be wrong.
So anyway, to sum it up, order,
Meh.
rent it.
Rent it or wait till a price drop.
Yeah, rent it or wait till it's a greatest
doing
hit, 'cause
reviews
it'll-
now, apparently.
It'll probably do a
Gamefly.
rent.
Says nobody's who's played it.
Shut your mouth.
No, I have to agree with him.
I'm not spending the $60 to play it.
This is all
I'm
entirely
not
based.
either.
This is all entirely based on what we personally, as fans, have read from the reviews. This is
And
everything we've
other
gleaned.
assorted.
Yeah. So
This is from like us watching
well,
the
I really,
leaks,
I don't,
reading the reviews.
I don't feel comfortable saying that is Redacted's review of the Order 1886.
No.
by all means, someone send
It's a recommendation. It's not a review.
Someone send us a copy. We will happily review it. Just not Tim.
grudgingly review it.
Yeah, never give a game to Tim to review.
Unless you want it like ripped apart.
But no, and we're giving this opinion with at least.
An educated opinion.
I mean, we've probably all 5 of us have probably been playing video games for the better part of 15 years. I mean, I know I was born with an NES controller in my hand.
I started in '85.
I started when I started in 1990. So I have 22 years
Super
of
Mario
gaming
World.
experience. So, I mean,
Cumulatively, we have at least 100 years worth of gaming experience.
yeah.
between
So,
the
I
five
mean,
of us.
that's
I started on Atari. So.
with that kind of
That makes us professionals.
experience in the fandom, like you can look at a game and judge it on its merits without necessarily having to play it.
Okay. Well, hey, here's the thing. Let's look at this then. Hardware.
What about it?
Well, let's talk about hardware a little bit. We've I don't want to say reviewed software. There is some new hardware coming out this year that I am super excited about.
Is this the
Note
Oh,
erect.
just go into it. Just go into
Do
it.
it.
The HTC Vive, which is Valve and HTC's virtual reality headset. It
If
is.
anyone's curious, Sean says H like a European person. He
Etch.
means HTC.
That's what I said. HTC.
Exactly.
H.
So
What?
Hi.
we'll do some of this. We'll go over some of the specs really quick.
Is that Frozen?
No, I think he's just standing.
No, it's Frozen.
yeah, it is Frozen.
Let
Luch,
it
are you
go.
there? Do we lose?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
I watched
okay, we
video
still
of
got
you guys.
audio.
I
Okay.
just haven't said anything.
Just checking.
We
So
can't-
I'm sorry. The
Virtual reality, go.
HTC.
The HTC
The
Vive?
Yeah, the Vive.
Vive.
The Vive. I'm not sure if I'm on board with the name, honestly. They're going to be coming out with a dev
They'll
kit.
call it the Steam Eye or some shit like that.
Will come out.
Steam.
They're coming out with a dev kit in the spring, but some of the specs on the unit are
The specs are impressive.
a pair of 1200 by 1080 displays that can handle video at 90 frames per second. To give you an idea,
Oh my god.
the Rift DK2 has a single 1080p panel that can refresh fast enough to do 75 frames per second, while the Gear VR can do 2560 by 1440, but it'll only go as far as 60 frames
Does
per
it
second.
say what Sony's does? The Morpheus?
No, I don't think there's
Wasn't
Oh my
Morpheus trying to
God.
get 2K in each display?
I thought they were trying to go for 4K.
Well, they,
Like,
well,
they're
that's
trying to-
how that
4K total.
would, that's
Yeah,
how that
4K
would work.
Yeah,
4K
4K total,
yeah.
but they were going for 2K
Yeah.
each eye.
Yeah. It's going to the current version of the Vive kind of took a page out of the Rift's book. It has a forward-facing camera to read. I think it's IR lights on the unit.
So, like,
for-
if you're
for head
walking
tracking.
around with it on, you don't
for
walk
head
through
track.
a
Now
wall.
it's not wireless. There are going to be wires to it.
Yeah.
So, but they definitely want to go with a more mobile version as opposed to Rift. Oculus has said this is at least the first couple iterations are going to be a sit-down sort of setup.
Yeah.
Their controller, they seem to have come up with
Steam
VR
controllers are bad anyway.
They seem to have come up with controllers that are supposed to be intuitive. They haven't said much about them. There's
Did you see
speculation-
Steam's last controller with the 2 disc things and the 1 button? It just looked like Atari took a shit on a Nintendo controller.
Yes.
I actually haven't read any reviews on it, but apparently the tracking was supposed to be better than the analog sticks for those 2 pads.
They say that, but it just
But-
looks bad.
Yeah, it depends on how.
It's also
how well
new,
that-
and I don't like change.
It depends on how well
Meow.
that tracking. Shut up.
You're a cat. You don't like change.
It just depends on how well that tracking actually works for those 2 circle pads.
Yeah.
Because
And, like-
if that tracking is really good, then you could does a lot for the hardware side.
And to be honest, like as we step into the next generation of gaming,
We're well into
and but I mean, like in terms of where we're going with this VR.
Do you think VR is the future?
I think it's going to be a heavy application that could ultimately change the face
Or
of
do you
gaming.
think it's going to... They said that about motion controls.
To be honest, I think it could go one of 2 ways. I think it could either be a resurgence of arcades in the sense
I think that's more likely.
in the sense that we'll see a lot of VR arcades open up.
Yeah.
Or it also could be,
I think it's going to go the other way. I think
It could be very much
think if
home
they can
console.
I think if they can keep the price
but
point,
they need to keep the price point
if
down.
they can keep the price point, and Rift has come out saying that when Oculus has said when they release the Rift, they're aiming for a $200 to $400 price window.
What's the dev kit 2 going for now? It's like $300.
$350.
Something like that.
It's $350 right now. Which I was kind of planning on ordering that in the next couple weeks if I can get the money together.
Yeah.
Because I'm impatient and I really, really want to play Euro Truck Simulator 2 on it.
I hate you.
And Elite Dangerous.
Hate you. Well, that's better.
Yeah.
I think...
You got one good game.
But the Vive is saying that they are aiming for a release window of end of this year.
This is Valve saying that.
It is Valve saying that. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah.
However,
Hold on, real quick. Fun fact about Half-Life 3. There's one of the guys that I'll order juices from every once in a while, the Vapor Chef. Hey, look at that plug.
send us flavors.
Send us flavors.
What's a pixel?
He
taste
actually,
like?
on his website, he has a flavor called Half-Life 3.
No, even better.
And-
Make us a flavor. Make Redacted Podcast a flavor.
Anyway.
His flavor's Half-Life 3, and it says to be determined as the release date. Like it's
That's awesome. I think VR is... I think it's going to go the way of like motion controls and Kinect. Because everyone said Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo were all, this is the way gaming is going to be in the next 10 years.
I
and
disagree.
It was all gimmicky crap that added nothing to the gameplay.
Okay, here's the thing. I disagree with that, and here's why I disagree with that. The motion controls require you to stand up and move around, and I liked those to an extent. Sometimes I just wanted to be a fat guy on a couch. The Oculus specifically,
Virtual Boy.
that had its own problems.
It
For instance,
did. Red?
nausea
Yeah, red and
involving
black.
colors, the fact that it was on a
oh,
tripod.
so 3DS.
No, on the new 3DS, 3D is actually
New
really
3DS is great.
good. He said he's. I
couldn't-
have played the new 3DS. The improved 3D is very
I,
good.
I couldn't look at the previous 3DS.
The new one's a
without,
lot
like,
better.
Wanting to puke 5 minutes into playing.
The new one's a lot better. I think.
The head motion tracking
It's impressive.
on the new 3DS is very good and makes a huge difference.
And that's where I'm going.
As far as yeah,
that's where I'm going with the VR headsets.
Yeah.
Is that because they are a visual based unit. So if they're sitting, first off, they're going to be, if they can keep the price point right, you don't need to spend extra money for like crazy hardcore, like, 0.25 millisecond response displays. You don't have to spend $400 or $500 on a 27-inch display. If you buy the Rift, you use whatever monitor you need to set everything up, and then you hook the thing on. You can sit on your chair and really experience the game in an inclusive manner that is, so far unheard of. And that's why I think this is it has a real possibility of being the future, as opposed to, for instance, motion controls. Especially when you factor in head tracking, the ability to wire on whatever headphones you want, whatever mic you want, everything's there. If they could set that up in a manner that would work in a wireless condition, there would be no question in my mind. That would be it.
I wouldn't.
5
even
years
mind
down
it.
the line, anyone who games would have one.
I mean, it would practically be like diving. Ghost in the Shell.
Or as Lucia has just read the book Ready Player One.
fuck yes.
They use
Says the black screen.
They use the sort of like the Oculus Rift headset, and then they use like haptic rigs to control their avatars. It's basically like diving.
See, and now that's where I'd really like to see VR go, and that's where I was going with the controllers. Like, I'm open to getting away from the analog sticks and going into new ways to use my hands to control a game. I hope that it ends up being that my body movements, me moving my hand, makes the character in game move my hand. But that's more of an arcade thing.
That's some of the speculation with the Vive. Like I was saying before, EJ was talking about the other controller that they put out that was just, possibly crap. I didn't get to play with one, so I don't know. They're looking at some sort of glove setup.
There's,
or at least that's the speculation, that they may that they've been working on some sort. Well, they've said they've been working on some sort of controller option that would work more in a VR setup with the helmet, with the unit.
Actually,
that they're talking about.
The Node guys, Corridor Digital guys.
Yeah.
They're actually, and Brandon JLA worked with Freddie W. Are starting up their own VR company called Control VR, and they're building and they're testing, and they've been testing out a full Control bodysuit for it.
I think you brought this up before.
I did bring this up before.
Awesome.
Check it out. Go check out the Control VR.
I know the tech exists because they do it for prosthetics and
muscle stimulus mapping.
Yeah.
non-invasive neural connection.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
They put sensors on top of your skin, and what happens with
back your neck.
No, it's not back of your neck. It's not back of your neck. Most of the stuff you're talking about for prosthetics, they put sensors on top of your skin.
Yeah.
And what they do is they program, say, if you want to lift your arm up, they figure out one muscle that you can move, and that's your muscle for that movement.
But for that level of immersive gaming,
it would
have to be back of the neck. Brainstem.
It really depends. It really depends on their interface, their coding, and how involved that suit is.
It wouldn't be a suit, but I'm just talking about VR with neural control.
We're 10 years at least away from that.
It exists already for it's rudimentary.
Not at the level.
Non-invasive exists now, but it's
not
it's
at the level
rather,
you are talking about.
No.
We are 10 years away from that, as far as I know.
Believe me, I am waiting for the back and the neck connector, and I've been waiting for it for like the last 15 years.
The instant wetware comes out, I'm going to sell somebody's kidneys to get it.
Not
mine.
No, they're yours.
No, let me tell you something. When I was in school, I once watched a documentary about these people who had a disorder called, I forget what it was called, but they themselves did not feel complete having all four limbs.
I know what you're talking about.
So
it's some sort. I think it's like some sort of dysplasia, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they would purposefully immobilize and oftentimes remove one of their limbs because they felt more whole as a person, only having one arm or only having one leg or having no legs or no arms. If we get to the point where they can graft me a fucking robotic arm, I will cut this fleshy piece of crap off
Oh yeah.
Like
There was.
I wouldn't. Do, I
That
don't.
is a bold statement.
I am not even joking.
I do
No,
not
you know
know
you're
that
not.
I would do that on purpose, but I would be less upset if something happened and that happened naturally. The couple of things that I have a problem
Less
with, though.
upset.
Well, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be doing that on purpose, straight out.
I will do it on purpose.
But here's a couple of things I like. As much as I love a lot of my tech, and I love a lot of my tech, firmware upgrades, hardware failures. I mean, imagine doing something major, driving, and your arm shorts, or the battery goes out, or
Well, you already have that
Or,
problem.
a
in real
servo
life.
gets jammed.
It's called a stroke.
Yeah, it's called a stroke. It's called a seizure. It's called any sort of normal, like regular
was-
medical problem that you could have while driving.
There was a documentary that came out that Eidos Montreal started. It was part of the promotional package for Deus Ex Human Revolution,
okay,
where they were talking about where like bio augmentations are currently.
okay,
The tech exists for near what they can do in the game. The controls exist, kind of. The only thing that's missing is a one-to-one interface between your brain and the actual.
right.
because
bits.
we haven't
Because
mapped the brain to
There
digital.
do exist
readouts.
like for blind people they make like the eyes.
Mhm.
They've made one that can see color and they can like zoom and shit.
Fucking awesome. Oh my god, I want
Yeah.
cyber eyes so bad.
You want
And they also
eyes?
have
Oh, I want
have
some.
powered legs, so you can actually climb stairs.
Well,
with
they have to an extent tested and been successful with exosuits,
And-
to a very limited amount.
and the game Deus Ex was 2027 was when that was supposed to take place.
Right.
We're actually on track to hit that. The way that like technology is advancing currently, because we're more than halfway there right now.
It's really exciting. Like I can't wait for that day when we finally like completely blur that line between man and machine.
H+.
Like I cannot wait for that to happen. It's something that I've thought about for years now. Like I'm so excited. There's a oh god, I can't remember his name. There's a Russian billionaire who has started a project that he is funding. It's a multi-million or billion-dollar project where in the next, I believe, 50 years, he wants to digitalize his brain and form a hologram of himself. He's basically attempting to make himself immortal,
yeah.
where he takes his brainwaves, all of his knowledge.
We're alarmingly close as it is.
Like and it's I was reading the article and I was reading
That
the ways
sounds-
they were going about it and everything. I was like, first of all, this was a Batman Beyond episode. Second of all, this might actually work. Like he might actually be able to do it.
They've done it with mice.
The hardest thing is the brain. We just need to figure out the brain. And once we unlock that door, oh my god. The things,
use 10% of our brains.
So we've gotten sidetracked.
yeah, we have
We've
gotten sidetracked.
absolutely-
This is no longer our
We've
video
swerved
game
up.
podcast.
So that is the VR.
VR. That was a VR discussion.
Yeah,
Video games.
it was-
Valve.
The future is now.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
It tied in a lot. There were a lot of good examples of
Portal 3 incoming.
yeah, all that stuff. So I kind of let it run. That's fine. Well, so if you want to talk about weird control schemes and the possibility for just random stuff happening.
Nintendo.
No, well, well
Damn
yeah.
Not yet.
Twitch plays Halo.
Oh god.
I don't
Now,
know how they
Perfect
got
segue for weird
for
control
any-
screens.
For anyone who
weird
doesn't
control
know about
schemes.
this, I don't even know how long it ran. Weeks.
All hail
it's still
Helix.
up.
No.
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Pokemon
Twitch
was
Pokemon.
Someone
8
wrote
days,
someone
I
wrote
think.
an interface to allow anyone who
Was
was
it?
watching on Twitch to control the characters in Pokemon, and that ran for a while. But what the people who were watching it would
they
I'm
destroy
checking.
to get rid of their starter Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I think that was like an hour. But then there's the fossil where they started worshiping the fossil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Worship the fossil.
But what happened is
it
anyone
was the
anyone
fossil.
in the chat.
yeah, no, it was the fossil. It wasn't the fossil. It was what the fossil makes, and I forget the name of the Pokemon.
Which one? There was Aerodactyl. There was Omicron.
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 No.
the snail one.
Yeah, the snail one with the tentacles.
Nobody cares.
Sorry.
Lots of
We're
people
talking
care.
about Pokemon.
Everybody cares.
Everybody cares.
Anyway, if I can explain
The
to people who
internet
might not know
cares.
what's going on, anyone watching the stream on Twitch could input directions or attack buttons or whatever, and actually have an influence on what the character was doing as it was being played. And this was all just the coding that they wrote. How long did it run?
The first Pokemon, Twitch-released Pokemon was 16 days, 9 hours, 55 minutes, and 4 seconds.
And
they've apparently run through the entire goddamn series.
Oh yeah, no, they
Red, Crystal,
finished-
Emerald, Fire Red, Platinum, Heart Gold, Black, Black 2,
Right.
X, and Omega
Yep.
Ruby. The most recent one took 8 days. X took 5 days. And they're starting a season 2, starting over with Red.
and let me tell you, like, I actually logged on and I actually played.
I watched.
Like
I
I
did
played.
too.
I would put in some
He
commands. and
made so much money on
I would see.
donations.
I would see. You know, my
by the way,
commands
they're
happen.
still at the bridge. I'm
Are
looking
they
at
still
it
at the
now.
bridge?
But the
Halo's
fact-
are like 78 hours or something. That's
78 hours, yeah.
So now they're doing Halo, and that blows my mind.
I do not understand how you can get through a single firefight in that game when there is about a 15-second input lag. Because it was just
there's-
like moves forward.
How did they get from the beginning
forward.
through the
You
Pill
wanna
of
know why-
Artem to the Halo?
Yeah, how
Ring?
do they
Because
get
the
the
How did they
first
get
fight?
that? Well,
because
in
they never suffer
78
that
hours.
15-second delay because there's so many command inputs that they never suffer that 15-second delay.
I was
it might
watching
not
it.
be
There
the
is-
right it might not be the right input or it might not be the right command once it goes through, but they are constantly getting
78
commands.
Overnight.
hours.
and they're realistically half an
Overnight
hour into the
Pokemon.
game.
Oh yeah.
Probably not even.
Wait, what was
yeah.
it again?
Overnight. The Helix
Overnight.
fossil.
78 hours to get, what, like 20, 30 minutes into the game?
Probably not even. Honestly, if you're
Oh, yeah,
if you're
no,
speed
even.
running through, it's not going to take that long.
No. But I mean, I wish them all luck. I hope they're able to do it because it's really, really cool that they're trying to do that.
I don't think it's possible.
I might
And
put- I
with
might-
the first-person shooter, I don't think it's possible.
I might run this on the TV in the office and just let it go. and
I'm
see
really
how-
I'm
how-
interested to see how far they get. I think
then
they
again,
can do
I was
it.
amazed they made it through Pokemon.
Really? I knew eventually they would get through Pokemon.
Eventually, I thought it was going to be way
Yeah,
longer
eventually
than 18
there'd be a
days.
hierarchy established.
Yeah. Eventually they would. I knew that they would eventually get through Pokemon.
And I like when they did Twitch Plays Crystal, the second one, the last member, the Elite Four, was the character from the end of the Red.
Yeah.
So it was all a hacked version, but was still awesome.
While we're on Bungie, one way or the other.
Yes.
So
Look at your voice,
Tim, do you hate Destiny?
Yes, actually I do.
It's easy.
Oh, get the hell out of here!
No, I really don't.
So-
With as much with as
You
much I
love
play,
to hate that game.
it's frustrating. It's unendingly frustrating.
No, that
but
is-
I love it
that
so
is
much.
that is one of those games that a lot of the negative feelings come from the love of the game, straight out.
Yeah, that's why I love Kotaku. Every time they start an article, they just start with some snarky lines like, "All right, this is Destiny, a game where players try to play Destiny."
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like,
That's not
Bungie
untrue.
made a thing where the community loves it so much. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And we love it so much that we get frustrated because we see the potential of what it could be. And we see how Bungie is just
You have to
we
keep,
don't know what we're
I
doing.
still blame the
have,
publisher.
You have to keep in mind
I'll blame
too from the
Activision till the day I die.
from the point at which the community as a whole, because they can't take suggestions from one or two people. When the community as a whole says we would like to see this, there's a development cycle from when they go conceptually okay, the fans want this thing, to hey, we've got this thing out in a patch. You're looking at like a couple of months realistically.
No, and I understand that. And actually, Bungie is really good about listening to their
No, they
community.
really
They are very good.
They are.
But there's some things like I wish I didn't have to run around the tower and look at all my reps. Why was that something that needed to be planned for?
And it shouldn't have been. Or
But in the
fact
broad
that-
scheme of things, that's a tiny thing.
But even so, the fact that back in the early days of the game,
that's a feature, not gameplay.
when I got a purple Engram, 9 times out of 10, it would turn into a blue item.
oh, that was absolutely broken.
that should have
that
never
was broken.
that should have never made it through. That should have never made it to release.
Well, they had like a month to make the game at that point.
I mean, it
I can understand the heavy weapons bug because it literally
is a
was-
lot of data. It's a lot of things to take into consideration.
There was a certain order that it would try to reconcile all the weapon ammo.
yeah,
for.
there are certain things that quality
Certain things-
control can only anticipate
there
for
are
so
certain
much.
things
Yeah.
where I'll forgive them for the heavy weapons bug. Yes, it's really really annoying. That
yes,
I'm
it's
losing,
still happening as of today's date.
not on death.
Not on
only
death.
on
Not on
respawn.
death. It's only on
March 1st.
spawning into
Yeah.
a mission.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on death.
That's
Yeah.
better.
Which is it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, here where we started with was the new House of Wolves. There's a player has unearthed more House of Wolves clues, including a new asteroid hangout.
Actually, real quick
But they've
before you
been-
go into this, how did this player unearth these things? Have they found them in game, or did they go through source code?
They would have found them in game.
they found them in
Well,
game.
here's the thing. So,
How people find
How would you
glitches
get
and
out
stuff.
to the reef
Who
without like
knows
hacking
how the fuck
game?
these people do these things?
Without hacking the game, how would you get to
Well,
the
no,
reef?
that's what it is. They do it. They do it on a hacked console and look at the source code.
that's one possibility. But like
Hacked PC.
I
it
was
is.
able to get
Like-
into that one thing for.
But that exists in an area that you're already in. This if they're talking about the Astro Belt, they're talking about the reef.
And there's nowhere you can go in.
There's
the
only
reef.
one place in the reef, and that's a cutscene.
Yeah, there's nowhere you can go in.
There's
the reef.
nowhere you can go. You have to hack it to get into the
Yeah, you
into
would
the
have to look
asteroid
at source
belt.
code.
So it was done for the PlayStation 4 version, as all this information is for. But what they found was, let me see here, the Reef social space. So there's a bunch of screen posts,
Shots.
screenshots.
Screenshots.
Oh, how's that toast?
I don't know how is
delicious.
it. How is it, Lucci?
It's wonderful.
You look so.
Looks like their
Energetic.
image is posted of a new strike, new Crucible playlist, and 2 single-player missions designed for high-level characters to battle on the moon.
I'm
Now-
sorry. 2 new what?
2 single-player missions for high-level
That's-
characters on the moon. Now, here's the one thing I have about the Reef space, because what I want when I eventually, and I will, go back to Destiny.
Because you love to hate it just as much as we do.
Well, I love to hate it so much I
Much
stopped
as
playing it about a month
everyone
and a half
else.
ago.
Hey, I was there. I stopped playing it for like a month.
Well, because I play games to enjoy myself. I do not play games because they are more work. And when I got to the point where I had to farm Vanguard points to upgrade armor, and that's all I could do if I wanted to play.
Yeah, it's work.
It's work.
Yeah.
So I stopped because I'm still using. Again,
Now you just want us to carry you through and get you gear.
as of March 1st,
Like we did to this
2015,
guy.
I'm still using the Queen's Strike vest. That came out in, what was that, September?
That was like
October.
second or third week of
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah,
and it hasn't been back
and
since.
I have not
Third week and
found,
it hasn't been back.
and I have not found anything better since then.
You just ain't doing the right stuff.
So you want to run Volta Glass tonight?
I've run Volta Glass multiple times, repeatedly. No.
I got to do Crota this week still.
We can carry you through Crota.
But anyway.
We carried him through Crota at 27.
But
hey,
anyway.
I helped. I turned invisible and rezzed you guys.
The thing is, I stopped playing because it became work and I didn't want to go. But when I go back to it, the one thing I want to see, and I know I'm not the only player that wants to see this,
Is it game?
Well, no. Why do we start in orbit? Let me choose to start in wherever this reef asteroid
Yeah.
is. Let me choose to start at the tower so I can just get hand in or get
Because
my stuff
or-
and leave.
Like even though that the tower seems like the hub, Orbit is the hub.
Orbit is the hub. That's
That's
why they're
where-
ma-
that's
that's
where you
why
pick
they're
up-
making Orbit social.
So
Yeah.
why
That's where you
why can't
pick
you
up
do
the-
anything in orbit? Then?
That's why
'Cause
they're
you
making.
can't
That's why
do
they're doing this.
anything in orbit.
That's why they're doing the social thing in Orbit.
I don't think that's
No,
it.
I don't think that's Orbit either.
No, that's not in orbit.
It's going to be the new Orbit.
No, it's a social hub.
It's going to be the new Orbit.
It's going to be
well-
the new tower.
No, it's going to be.
I think it's going to be
It
the
might
new
be.
tower.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation.
It's gonna be a
that
high-level
be
tower.
Another tower. Exactly right. That's the thought
And-
right now.
I'm trying
That
to
said-
pick the words.
That said, with it being the new tower, like these images or spaces that they found is shit that they had in the preview before
Yeah.
the game even
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
out.
And Bungie has come out and said, like their community manager has already said, we are months out from this. It is still in
Yeah.
the works. A lot of this
They're-
stuff could change.
They're expecting it by sometime in Q2, so that's May, June, July, sometime.
which I think is ridiculous because I bought a season pass. I should probably have a release date. Like,
Well, they're still.
and you'll have one once they're done with
I
it.
think
but
I think that the Dark Below
You
was a
entitled
test
bastard.
for DLC. Was like kind of like a test for DLC. Is like how much they could release without and like seeing what like the public's reaction to what this kind of release would be.
I think that was more of all they had ready to release.
And
as opposed
then
to what
now
was
that they're
missing.
now with House of Wolves, they've realized that they have to put out a lot of content to keep people interested, because it's not even like a month and a half out of the original Dark Below release, and we're already starting to get bored of the DLC content.
December 9th. So it would have been
It's
2 months.
2 months.
2
Yeah.
months. Almost
Not-
3.
Almost 3.
And like I was getting bored. I was getting bored
We've
with
been
the content.
bored for a month.
Yeah, we've been bored for a month.
That's understandable.
Well, I mean, and that's
most
that's,
people have been bored for a month and 2 weeks.
That's been the biggest detractor to Destiny, is that they put out this content and we eat it up, and we eat it up fast. And I don't think Bungie has quite realized that yet, or realized fully how quickly their community is going to eat up every single piece of content that they put out. And they need to start putting out more varied and more, for lack of a better word, eclectic content.
There's that, and then you also have the anyone else on any other console but PlayStation. Like PlayStation 4 gets a lot of exclusive stuff.
That's just because Bungie's butthurt over Microsoft.
No, they're not. They're not. How
No.
could they be butthurt?
That's not going to run. That is not
Because
going to run.
Microsoft kind of took Halo
That
from
is
them.
not going to run.
They voluntarily sold Halo.
Yeah, but still.
That is going that is not going to influence as greatly as you think their business decisions.
That's true.
And
And
if anything, they did that more to bring PlayStation players more on their side, because Bungie's exclusivity to Microsoft has been for so long.
Like PlayStation fans have hated Bungie for a very long time.
That's true.
We had PS2 had Oni. I love that game. That was Bungie.
Fuck off.
And you get the crickets.
Yeah. But like
No love
the
for Oni.
PlayStation fan base has hated Bungie for a very long time, because the only place that we could play Halo was on the Xbox, and if
Or on PC.
Or on PC.
no, not even like
No,
if
no.
you wanted it at launch, you couldn't play Halo.
No, you're
on
right,
PC.
because they always
No, yeah,
had
that was-
they
It
always
was always
had
like-
at least a 12-month window
Yeah.
from when it launched
Yeah.
on console to when it launched on
Halo
PC.
2 still never released for PC.
No, yes, it did.
Oh, it did.
It was
what has
it was Vista exclusive.
Oh, right.
and I really wanted to play. I really
All
wanted to play
Microsoft.
Halo, but I couldn't because
Microsoft.
I couldn't. I wasn't going to buy another console for one game.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to play it for one game, so I'd have to play it on friends' consoles when I was over their house, or like they brought it over, and like I was waiting for it to come out on PC, but like it would just like would never release on PC. And at the time, my shooting experiences were all on PC.
Oh yeah.
I would play shooters exclusively on PC because at the time during the original Xbox and PS2, the controls for shooters were just awful.
So we are getting horribly off topic here. So they've uncovered a new social area in the Reef.
They uncovered a new social area and some other stuff that's this was all discovered on a PlayStation 4 console. So
Is it just like kind of like equipment from? Because I've seen screenshots of like some of the equipment that we can expect to get in House of Wolves,
equipment I haven't seen anything about yet, honestly.
and it looks badass. Like
Because I really need something to look badass for House of
because all the Crota stuff looks.
By the
like
way,
crap.
Bungie did come out with a release date of between April 1st and June 30th.
It's a smaller window than what they were
Yeah,
saying.
I'll
It's
take
really
it.
the same window, honestly.
No, they were predicting 3 months before. They had a 3-month window before.
Yeah, 1st of April to the 30th of June.
3 months.
Yeah,
April,
that
May,
is
and
3
June.
months.
That's 3 months.
That is 3 months.
That is three,
that is textbook 3 months.
That is legitimately 3 calendar months.
If you look up the definition of 3 months,
Do the
you
math
find
in your
that.
head.
In fact,
Do you need-
that's
That's almost 3 months.
No. In fact, by calendar, that is Q2. That defines Q2. He's just Lucci just shaking his head.
I think he's given up on everything.
Really, Lucy?
I have.
Not even a
Wow.
titter. Not even a titter on that one. No.
How you doing?
Can't even share in the revelry.
You look like you've given up on a lot.
You look like you're exhausted.
I am now.
All right.
You guys exhaust
You know
me.
what? Fuck you then.
That's true.
But they've been uncovering stuff for each expansion every time.
Well, the thing
time.
is, the stuff gets, locations and whatnot get patched in, but they don't go live. So they find glitches because, well, that's going to happen
Because- yeah,
to
'cause
get
that's what
into
we
those
do.
areas. And when you get into those areas, you record
Well,
it, you put it on YouTube, whatever, and then you write up everything you see.
Yeah.
We got into the Seraphim Vault early.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know or weren't paying attention, the Seraphim Vault is the Defend Rasputin
Yeah, and that came out
story
down
mission.
below.
story
yeah.
mission.
Yeah.
And because it was called Seraphim Vault, there was speculation initially that was going to be the next raid
Yeah.
at the time. At least a few people I knew that thought that was
Yeah.
exactly.
It was
that.
we thought it was going to be the next raid because they didn't say anything about Crota's End.
No. I mean, we knew going up into it that the raid boss was going to be Crota.
Yeah.
But we didn't know where. We didn't know how it was going to go down. We just knew that it was going to be Crota. That is one thing I'd really like to see in the next DLC. I am getting really sick and tired of raid bosses just being big versions of regular enemies.
Yeah, I want a new boss.
I want a raid boss that isn't just a reskinned knight or a reskinned minotaur.
The problem with this is it's going to be an oversized Kel.
Yeah, we're going to move on from Destiny.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
not going to be another Destiny.
Oh
cast.
yeah, no, we're not doing another.
This has
Destiny
gone
cast.
long as it is.
What next topic?
All right. Well, we're going to go GTA 5.
Yep, just take off your headphones,
And
Lynch.
Tim
There you
walks
go.
away.
Bye.
Lynch, grab me a drink.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You want to get me an Angry Orchard? No. Yeah. Wow. You can't even be helpful.
Cut some of this.
Can I leave?
Sure.
ahead.
Okay. So GTA 5.
PC got pushed back.
It was PC got pushed back to April 18th, April 14th. But heists are still supposed to come out on the original March 10th or March 18th.
Well, they never gave a date.
10th.
10th. Yeah, 10th.
No,
March
the
10th.
date is the 10th.
Yes.
Well, before they never gave a date for.
Yes, they
heists.
did.
They said before PC. That's all they said before.
And then they came out with the 10th.
March 10th. Yeah,
March 10th.
it's not the original date. It's just the
No, but
the
it is
only
a date that was
the only
handed out.
date they've given.
It is the original date. It's
Fuck
the
you.
only date.
As far as it being delayed for PC, whatever. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm sure that people.
Oh, I've already bought. I've pre-bought it on PC.
I am sure
Have
that
you
people.
seen the screenshots for the PC version?
I have not.
Oh,
One second.
Jesus.
Okay.
No, come here.
I hope
Come here.
that at the very least, hold on. I hope that at the very least, when Rockstar
I'll leave
releases the heists, that it lives up to what everybody's expecting it to be.
There's a rumor
because they have been promising us heists for this game for the last year.
Well, longer than that.
Yeah, exactly. Like longer than
Year
that.
and a half.
And to be honest, the heists that are in the story mission, for as much as heists were hyped before the game came out,
They were a little lackluster
a little lackluster.
What, in single player?
in single player.
They weren't lackluster. They just weren't enough.
There weren't nearly enough.
They
of
just
them.
weren't enough.
That was my biggest problem with heists. Was that it was like there were 5 heists in total in the game.
Jewelry store. Shit. The one in the desert.
The one in the desert with Trevor.
The government one, and the 4.
There are 4, and one of them, the one that you do with Trevor, is bull. It's
The one
barely
you
a
knock
heist
over-
because you.
The one you knock over the bank.
The one where you steal the piece of
The government one.
the government one,
Yeah.
and then you have to give it back at the end. It was crap because you barely got to make any choices on your approach. You barely got to plan
Yeah.
the heist. It was basically a heist laid out for you, and you had no choice. And then at the end of the heist, you had to give it back.
Yeah.
And so really there were 3 heists in the game. And it was just I bought the game for the heists. And I bought the game so I could plan heists in multiplayer. And now here we are a year and a half later and there's still no heists in the game. So Rockstar, if you're listening, make it good.
They're all the multiplayer heists. Like the single player's done.
I would really like
Well,
to
yeah,
see.
Unless they give us single player DLC, which I would love.
I would
to-
absolutely.
I'm surprised they haven't already.
I think they've been waiting for PC.
I would absolutely love to see a build your own heist, like a heist build.
Oh,
I think that's what they're supposed to be doing.
I really.
At some point, I think. they're gonna be
I
doing
would
that.
accept. I would fully accept the year and a half wait for them to have gotten that up and running right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're saying that previous gen is going to get an extra heist currently.
Is it?
Yeah. That's what they
Yeah.
say.
Sons of bitches.
Dude,
Right.
wow, that's a sexy
Does
screenshot.
PC count as previous gen?
No.
No.
That is a really sexy screenshot.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Let me find one with the draw distance.
to be honest, like that doesn't really that doesn't really stun
Surprising,
me.
no.
Because PCs always, the graphical capabilities on a PC are always going to be better than the graphical capabilities on a console.
Well,
That's just the way it goes.
Only because they can be upgraded. Whereas
Exactly.
a console you can only get as much out of it as the hardware allows, and you cannot upgrade the hardware in a console.
A PC is upgradable and can run off of what is the best available. A console can't do that.
The saddest thing I have about the pushback for GTA 5 going to PC is that the modding community, the mods that had
The mods that are going to come out for
of
5
that's
are
the
gonna
whole
be
reason I bought it.
glorious.
GTA 4 have been ridiculous. And the fact that it's finally going to come out on PC and heists are going to be out and somebody's going to go in and make heists fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I did not consider that the modding community. We'll take that and run with it.
One of my absolute favorite games was San Andreas. Not because of the story. I liked the open world. I was 50-50 on the story. It wasn't really the story. Really didn't.
The gangbanging never really struck a chord with me.
Yeah, no. It was,
I much preferred the organized crime.
Yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't really a thing that had any impact on me one way or the other. But the open world location that it was awesome. You know, that was the whole thing. But there were so many mods for San Andreas.
Oh, yeah.
So many good mods and so many ridiculous mods. And sometimes you just want to load in a mod that literally does nothing but raises the water level.
The mods that have come out for 4 have been fantastic, too.
Hot coffee, anyone?
Shut up.
Get out. But no, it's the modding community can add so much extra life to a game.
Look at Skyrim.
Oh God, yeah. Saints, any of the Saints Row games, they Volition and Deep Silver did the right thing and pretty much opened it up to modders, like almost straight out. They were at one point handing out modding tools to the community to make mods, and it just added so much extra life to the game.
The modding community will make GTA 5 somehow prettier.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I don't know how.
They'll figure out a way to upres it at 4K.
It will, yeah. They'll do that or somehow make it 100% photorealistic within 6 months.
Which will be frightening.
Okay.
Next topic?
We've lost 2 members.
That's
so. Let's switch over to a topic that's going to lose at least me.
Nintendo?
The gold Mario amiibo.
Yeah, here we go. Nintendo's lost their goddamn minds.
The gold Mario
Again.
amiibo sold out in minutes and is going for crazy prices.
Why do you
on
hate
eBay.
Nintendo so much?
I don't hate Nintendo.
I hate their
the-
business practices.
I hate the decisions they
No,
make.
he
I'll
do-
give you that.
He doesn't hate Nintendo.
Uchi's holding up his 3DS. His
He hates-
new. Is it the new 3D? New.
That's a gloriously named object you have there.
Pretty.
No, EJ doesn't hate Nintendo. He hates Nintendo.
Yeah. no, that's entirely accurate.
It's the company. He doesn't, and I agree with him.
I love
the games are fantastic.
Nintendo.
There are
I
good
hate
games.
The company.
There are good hardware.
Fully intend on buying a Wii U for Smash Bros.
10 years ago.
You should. I've played it. It's
so good.
amazing.
But amiibos, in and of themselves, are flawed.
Well, it's Skylanders, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Skylanders.
Nintendo wanted to make something that's collectible, so they opened up like very limited numbers of things for like an Ike amiibo or any of the other like not necessarily Nintendo character amiibos.
What they do with everything they ever sell.
Yes, because they're stupid. So instead of like releasing them broadly, that's completely accessible to anybody, and making crap tons of money, what they did was release a very limited run of select characters for like 1 or 2 individuals to buy them all up and sell them for inflated prices on eBay that Nintendo's not going to see a goddamn dime of.
That's a great business practice right there.
It's genius.
Well, no, it makes them a lot of
No.
It makes them a lot of money, but not as much money as they could have made.
makes them a lot of hype.
When they're selling the Ike amiibo in a very limited run for $10 a pop, and people are buying them, and the people who bought them in bulk are selling them for upwards of $250 to $500 a pop. You're going to tell me that Nintendo is still making a smart business decision?
No, they're not. No, they're not. And they
No, I will. Well, here's what I will win. They are creating a rabid fandom.
Oh, they did that 10 years. They did that 20 years ago.
with Pokemon.
They
And they
did that
keep
before
doing
that.
it.
They did that with Zelda.
Yeah, they did that with Zelda. That was probably the first big one they did. Like
Hey,
not even Mario.
If collectors,
Metroid.
Metroid.
and this is going to sound really stupid, which, big surprise from anything that comes out of my mouth.
It's true.
That's almost 3 months.
If that community, that was you.
I said, well, I'm just trying to balance your stupidity with my stupidity.
If that community or that mentality of buying things in bulk, reselling it on eBay, stuff like that, if that didn't exist,
Welcome to eBay.
I understand.
Didn't exist,
if that didn't
Nintendo would be still making more money by selling more of the Miis because they're more in demand.
No, but I would
10 a
also
pop.
like the business choice of releasing limited runs and increasing the rarity
Feel free
of them.
to re-release them instead of doing as of now one run only.
I like that idea of having things rarer than others, but with the world that we live in, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
People are going to buy them in bulk, and then they're going to sell them for an outrageous price.
You know what they're going to do? And I goddamn promise you they're going to do it. They're going to re-release Ike, Marth, and all the rarer ones with the different color skins on them.
Probably.
And make shit tons more money.
I just
Or,
thought something.
label them like Season 2.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, they'll absolutely do that.
Get your own
the new Ike.
get your own near field chips, 3D print your own Bayonetta, and sell them for $80 a piece.
I would pay that for Bayonetta. Oh my
Trademarked.
God, I love that game.
Canarch Neutral trademarked.
Yeah, done.
One of my
I
biggest.
want to know actually.
I'm surprised Bayonetta's not
Speaking of the
Smash Bros.
NFC chips, how long is it going to be before we have just copies of the NFCs of all the amiibos so that we can just
The
go to our computer, pull
Probably
whatever
5
we want
months.
online?
Probably 3 months ago.
the technology out there is there to clone or I mean you can program your own. In some cases with like a Samsung Galaxy. Which one? Which Galaxy?
I've got the 3.
You've got the.
We already have the near field communication.
If you can write the code, you
Yeah.
can you could there's certain the technology certainly exists to write your own
I know
code.
I can do it with my cell phone.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. So if you can do that in a custom 3D printed, I just used Bayonetta as an example.
Yeah.
If you can do that in a custom 3D printed unit,
Bayonetta's awesome.
it
Who doesn't want a hair witch?
What are the odds of Bayonetta being a DLC character for Smash Brothers?
absolutely none.
Really?
It's too adult.
So?
It's this
Snake.
Snake.
Snake gets in from nostalgia straight out
Ba-
because you go back what 15 years with Metal Gear.
20.
Bayonetta's now is
20.
an exclusive Nintendo property.
Exactly. Is it exclusive or is it just Bayonetta 2?
It's exclusive.
Nintendo didn't buy the IP.
They
it's-
may well
It's-
as
it's-
well have.
It's Platinum Games. Who else has them?
Yeah.
Who else is paying them?
Platinum has signed an exclusivity deal for at least Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, for buying Bayonetta 2.
And you get the first Bayonetta with Bayonetta
Yeah.
2. So because
Which if I
Sales
was,
for
which is good.
Bayonetta 1 wasn't that good.
which is a really good marketing plan. Fantastic marketing plan.
yes and no because you get 1.5 games.
Which one's a half?
Either
75.
Yeah.
75.
But I loved the first Bayonetta, and I do want to get a Wii U.
It was
for
a fun. It was a really fun Devil May Cry clone.
Yeah, But
I hit a chord with him.
Coming to you from the bathroom.
I do want a Wii U, but I can't put that over other things right now. I really did like Bayonetta, and I really wish that Bayonetta 2 wasn't a Wii U exclusive because I
does
really
everyone.
because I want to play it.
I want to play it, and I don't have a Wii U.
Bayonetta was not a Devil May Cry clone.
Absolutely was.
It absolutely was.
I
It absolutely
disagree.
Are you going to
was.
say Ninja Gaiden?
You know what? Yeah, I would actually say more Ninja Gaiden than. Devil May Cry.
Congratulations, there's still a clone. One of them. Which one is first?
Ninja Gaiden.
Oh no, I really
Ninja
like
Gaiden
Bayonetta.
3.
One of my
Devil May
crowning
Cry.
moments and I'm so pissed that I fucking lost it.
Gaiden.
But one of my crowning moments in video games was Penny Arcade did a contest where the first 500 people who beat Bayonetta in hard mode and sent in a screenshot of the game completion screen got a T-shirt, a limited edition Bayonetta T-shirt. I was one of those 500.
Of course you were.
And I lost the shirt.
I've got
I'm
a
so
new-
upset that I
have a
lost
new-
He's
the
got
shirt.
3.
I have a new challenge for you. Elite Dangerous. The creators have set up the first person to hit triple elite status gets 10,000 pounds.
I don't have a
So are you
system
gonna
that
put
can
that
run
on
it.
your-
so you get
on your face?
$13,000.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put that on your face? Add to your voice.
Get added to my voice.
I get
Money joke.
it. I get it.
I wish
Foreign currency is weird.
to forward the conversation that was happening. I am also very upset that Bayonetta 2 is a Wii U exclusive.
So am I, because I
loved
would
that
play
game.
it otherwise.
I
But I'm-
really do
loved
want to get a
that
Wii
game.
U.
You remember when they announced that the Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut was going to be Wii U exclusive because they fixed the boss fights in that?
no.
And then everyone lost their goddamn minds, and then they released it anywhere on the other consoles.
how would they run it on Wii?
Yeah, I don't even know how they would run that game on Wii U, honestly.
It would
No, the
melt.
Wii U was on par with the 360.
And what was wrong with the boss fights? The boss fights weren't. Well, no, the boss fights
The
were
boss
kind of
fights
broken
were
in that
pretty
game.
fucking
It would
broken.
still melt.
I never beat the second
A
boss
whole
without choosing it.
480p.
Which one's the second boss?
Maybe
The chick.
720i.
Who turns invisible?
You have to. Yeah, I taught that later. You have to be able to
On the
run around
tablet.
on the electric. You have
Yeah,
to-
oh, yeah, no, I figured
if
it
you
out.
have that one AUG, you're fine.
Oh yeah, no, I figured it out. But she would always glitch and just stand still, and I would just shoot that.
Oh, I played the game. Don't worry. Like, so I stopped.
I mean,
All right, let's
When you get your DLC to work.
yeah, when I get an internet connection.
let's go to something that isn't going to make 2 or 3 of us want to shoot ourselves.
Well, shoot the
No,
other one.
It's
good
an
luck.
amazing game.
Let's go to something that's going to make all of us sad.
no,
Don't do it.
Yeah.
no,
Don't do it.
Star Trek Online.
I hate you so much.
Is going to create an in-game memorial to Leonard Nimoy.
No, they.
As they should, and I still hate you for bringing it
Well,
up.
wait, are they creating an in-game memorial, or are
I
they?
thought it was like an in-game
'cause they had a
memorial
service.
It's,
yeah.
it,
They
no,
had a
they're
service.
doing an in-game memorial.
Well, they should
like
do
a
an in-game
statue
memorial.
of
That's
him.
As
okay.
anything Star Trek
I
should.
Yeah.
thought they already had the memorial service.
They
did.
did already have the memorial service, which I thought honestly was really cool.
Yeah, it's
and
fantastic.
if I had known about
Yeah.
it beforehand, I probably would have downloaded the Star Trek MMO and been a part of it,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because I would have liked to have.
What-
'Cause
You should have known that it was going to happen.
I didn't. Well,
It's Star Trek Online and,
Yeah.
and Leonard
No,
Nimoy.
it's you should have known it was going to happen, but we all forgot Star Trek Online existed.
yeah.
that yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. They actually had the memorial service. It was it was at least 1,000 players spontaneously travel to the in-game world of Vulcan to pay their respects. Nimoy actually did voiceovers for that game
Yeah.
as Spock.
Yeah, he did Spock
I
for
believe there's speculation or talks that they're going to be doing a Spock statue that kind of in its own way will pay tribute to both the actor and of course obviously the character.
and that they should.
Yeah.
If World of Warcraft can do it for Robin Williams, they damn sure better fucking do it for Spock.
Oh yeah.
Like,
The question is
and it
whether or not
absolutely
World of
will.
Warcraft will still do it first.
Well, yeah, because they're still working on it. But this was something. Supposedly, this was something that was already kind of in the works that they had talked about before. I think it's Perfect World Games that does STO.
I don't know.
I'll look it
It's-
up.
Yeah, it's.
I don't play that game.
I've played it like one. I still have an account. I just haven't gotten a chance. It's an MMO. I haven't had time to play. But yeah, it was
It's an
something
MMO.
they were talking about doing in the first place. And
There's only one thing that's going to draw me back
Arc
to
games.
MMOs. So
Is it Arc Games?
Arc.
Okay.
ARC.
All right. But yeah, this was something they already apparently kind of working on.
Wait, it's Perpetual Entertainment and Cryptic Studios. What the hell website is it?
Wikipedia GTFO.
It's the Google front page. The first thing that comes up is arcgames.com and then Star Trek Online. But the entry on the right side from Wikipedia says developers Perpetual Entertainment, Cryptic Studios, publishers Atari, Perfect World Entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that happened. But between the actual memorial service that happened without any planning, that was all.
yeah.
That was all just people going, "Hey, let's go do this," and then that happened. And then I think they've been talking about a statue for a while, but now it's just going to probably accelerate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that all of that makes sense.
And it did.
Yeah. Did you see the that one picture of?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
Oh
it.
man.
On-
that
I don't
was
wanna
the-
talk about
Oh,
it.
I showed him that one.
On a related side note, our hearts go out to the friends and family
Yeah,
of
Leonard
Leonard Nimoy,
Leonard
and
Nimoy's
the world lost a great man.
yeah.
A man that shaped a generation.
Yeah,
Well,
truly.
ma- many
I know it,
generations.
truly.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the cause of death was heart failure based around I can't remember.
It was a pulmonary disorder.
It was a pulmonary disorder based off of the smoking. He quit smoking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that has persisted since then.
Well, they say, I mean, the damage, you never truly heal the full extent of the
No,
damage.
no.
I remember earlier in the week, I heard that he was admitted to the hospital, And
Yeah.
I was like,
I think I had the same. I was
like,
like,
you
know what?
I looked at my computer. I looked at my phone. I was like, don't you dare!
I
Don't
saw
do
that,
it.
I saw that he was admitted, and I was like, oh my god, like, because he's old. Like he was old.
It's 83.
He was 83.
And I was like, I really hope you make it out. And then I heard a couple days later that he
Yup.
passed, and I was like,
he was 3 years older than my father would have been had he still been alive.
On to
So,
the next great adventure.
you know, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Leonard, and live long and prosper.
Games.
So yeah, back to games.
You son of a bitch.
So there's a new game coming out called I just had here. It's a new MOBA called Supernova.
I'm sorry, a new MOBA called Supernova.
Shut up.
New massively online.
Could
Online.
use that for the
Battle
hook in my,
Arena.
Could use that for
Battle
the hook in my new rap song.
It's get out.
Get out.
What are you
Can you just mute him, please?
He's purple.
But no, you were saying earlier that it's what
You could call yourself
League of
people.
League of Legends and StarCraft.
Yeah, it's League of Legends. It's League of Legends and StarCraft. Now the let's see, when was it coming out?
So it's going to be Heroes of the Storm, but good.
Yes.
It's going to have familiar RTS mechanics used to upgrade and to deploy your commanders, which are what the champions are
Yeah.
called.
It's MOBA stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's.
If you haven't played a MOBA or even heard of a MOBA,
it does look really
League
good.
of Legends,
It-
Dota,
See-
Smite.
I have played a MOBA. I
DC
have
Infinite Crisis.
never heard that acronym used before now. What does it stand for?
Massive Online Battle Arena.
Okay.
I've heard
I
MOBA.
think it-
I actually never knew what it
I
stood
think it's massive online. It's something online. I think it's massive, but it's something online battle arena.
Okay, because
And-
I played Dota, but back in the day, but I've never heard that acronym.
I don't think it came out until more recently when League of Legends started up and Dota
When more
and Dota
games
2,
came out that it needed its own designation.
Dota 2 and Smite and things like League of Legends and Dota came out as like standalone games.
Well, it's like when EverQuest came out. MMORPG was not
No,
an
yeah.
acronym.
Not
it
at
was
all.
because there weren't enough games to support the need for an acronym.
Yeah, I remember when MMO became the abbreviation because
Yeah.
people just got sick and tired of typing six
Massive-
guys.
Massive
Massively
multiplayer
multiplayer
online.
Role-playing game. Yeah,
That to be fair, that came out really quick because even before Evercrack,
Quest,
Evercrack.
whatever.
Ultima.
Ultima Online.
Yeah.
Second
Ultima
Life.
I played
Online,
Astronaut's
and
Call
I
for
played
years.
Meridian 59.
Wait, what game was it, Lucci?
and that Meridian 59.
I've never even.
I don't even know what that
heard
is.
of that.
Did that
game.
come out of
I
the
know.
Commodore 64?
3DO made it.
What? Wow.
Not for the
3DO.
3DO, but the studio made it,
Wow.
or they bought it.
That's a name
and
I
I've
haven't
never-
heard in 30 years.
I-
I always thought the first MMO was Ultima, and it was
Well,
not.
no,
I think Ultima was before
Ultima
before
essentially
Meridian,
was the
but
first
Meridian
MMO.
was
That's what I
still
thought.
one of the first because I was playing it 95.
Okay.
It looks
All
like- I
right.
forgot what it was.
Well, with that, we're about out of time.
Yeah, we are.
So join us next week. Until then, I'm Sean.
I'm EJ.
I'm Nader.
I'm Lucci.
I'm Lynch.
Nader, also known as DJ Pepperbox Revolver.
I'm sorry. What is
What?
my DJ name?
Pepperbox Revolver.
Pepperbox
Why?
Revolver.
Because he wants to be Tech 9, but he's not anywhere near there.
I
get it.
love that. No,
I get it.
No, next con card, DJ Pepperbox Revolver.
And it's just you in a dress.
No, that's DJ Scarlet
No, it's this in a dress.
with me and a pepper gun.
and headphones.
Until then, thanks for listening and keep gaming.